All right, Philip.
Yeah.
Let's get back into our cold opens. It's taken us like 3 weeks to do so.
Woo! Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking the other day that if you were to put
We're already to a great start.
Oh, I know. We're already laughing. It's so funny. Okay, so if you take the item of a pencil,
Yeah.
right, and you kind of put it into like human terms, so the pencil and the eraser. Mm-hmm. Every single time the pencil messes up,
Yeah.
the eraser is there to fix his mistakes. But every time he does that, a little piece of the eraser dies.
Oh. I mean, that's kind of a weird way to start the episode.
Why?
It's not like very funny.
Oh, shoot. You're right. Cold opens are supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah.
Dang, we've been
you
doing
forgot
hot
about
opens
that?
for
Man,
so long.
It's like kind of seeping through.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. Well, hold on. What are cold opens again?
It's like
they're short,
They're short.
have nothing to do with the rest of the episode.
Yeah. They're funny.
They're funny. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I forgot about that part.
Well, the most important, they end abruptly. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Philip. What is this?
Well, it's Classic Countdown Conversations.
And what is that?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's a podcast. What do you think it is?
I think it's a podcast that has to do with top 10s related to media.
Oh, I think it does the best and the worsts.
And yep, that's it. It's called
That's
Classic
that.
Countdown Conversations. If this is the first time you've listened to the show, welcome.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry that this is the first episode. Anyways, what is today's episode about, Philip?
Today we're talking about schools, high schools.
Particularly high school movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not just, I mean, there's millions upon millions of high schools in the world.
Yeah.
There's probably, honestly, there's tons of high school movies, a lot of them of which we have not seen.
Most of them I've not seen.
As always, Philip hasn't
always.
seen a whole lot of them. However, there are a lot of high school movies I haven't seen either, but we really wanted to do this list. So we apologize if a movie is not on here that you thought should be or think should be.
You know what I learned today?
What?
While I was doing research and learning that I don't see very many high school movies, is that a lot of high school movies just about sex. And that's it.
Yeah,
And that kind of stinks.
I know. That's why a couple of them that we do have on here are just honorable mentions.
That's
because
right.
we don't want to be too.
We're not a raunchy show.
We're not.
You know?
We're not a
We're
super
not
raunchy
about
show.
that.
So
We're a family-friendly show.
yeah.
And apparently high school is not family-friendly.
We wouldn't know, Philip, because we were both homeschooled.
I guess so. We were sheltered and removed from the sex climate of high school, apparently.
I guess so, which is fine with me. Anyways, enough about that topic. And let's go. Is there anything that we want to say? I feel like recently we've just been diving right in.
Oh,
And I feel like, our audience just likes us to just banter.
I don't know if they do like that.
Oh,
I don't know.
they just want us to get to our lists.
I think that they literally just want the list. They don't want to hear our voices even. They wish that it was just a blog and they could just read it. And they're
Dang
like,
it.
yes, they're right. And then be done.
Honestly, I think we might be one of the only podcasts that do this, like, topic.
This high school topic?
No, the like 10 top 10
Top 10s?
top lists.
I can't believe that. There's so many podcasts.
Right, but I think a lot of people who do this for like this topic, they do it either in like YouTube videos or blogs, like you were saying, or articles or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think a whole lot of people do it on a podcast.
Yeah, that's
so.
why we should be the most popular podcast in the world.
I know,
But
because
for
who
some
doesn't
reason
like
we're not.
lists?
Uh,
I make at least like 4 lists a day.
I choose no lists a day.
So I was
Anyway.
okay. All right,
I found your sunglasses today.
that's true. Where were
Actually,
they?
it was Thursday.
Where were they?
They were in the basement of the church.
And I don't remember taking them down here at all.
I think that they were probably somewhere in
The orange room?
Yeah, in the gathering room.
That makes
big
sense.
room, and then somebody just busted them down here.
That makes sense because I do misplace a lot of stuff in that room.
I believe it.
Well, thank you for finding those.
You're welcome.
I walked down the steps and you were acting real cool.
Yeah. Well, actually, I wasn't acting.
Well, I also had my sunglasses on, so we were both kind of trying to do the same joke.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
I think it took us a few seconds to really realize what
Well,
was
I
going
couldn't
on.
really see you because my sunglasses were on.
My sunglasses.
Your sunglasses.
Yeah, they are pretty good sunglasses.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry people, we're already getting sidetracked.
I mean, you said you wanted that.
I know. I'm just saying I'm sorry to make it
yeah.
look.
Oh, I
But
see.
we know that they like it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and start with our honorable mentions.
Okay.
And like all of these are usually considered the best, but they're our honorable mentions. Go read from the bottom.
From the bottom?
Yeah.
All right. So this kind of goes along with a joke that I said earlier that we didn't put in the podcast. You know why they
yeah.
call it high school?
Why is that?
Because all the kids are high.
Yeah.
So that's why they made the movie called Dazed and Confused.
Yep. Because that's all that's about.
Is that all it's about?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
No, I think it's a similar movie to another one that we have on the actual list,
Oh.
and I'll tell you which one it is
Okay.
here in a little bit.
All right.
So that's usually in the top 5 of all time, Philip, but it's in our honorable mentions.
Yeah. Neither of us have seen it.
As is this next one.
Yeah?
It's called Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
That goes along with the joke you made earlier. That's all that high school movies are about.
Is about what?
is
Yeah. That thing.
Yeah, that thing that we shouldn't talk about.
Oh.
Just kidding. It's a natural thing in life. Anyways, that's all that movie's about.
Yeah.
But neither of us have ever seen it. What's next?
Also about that stuff.
Yeah.
Super bad.
Super bad. We put it as an honorable mention because it's super bad.
It's a super bad
It is
movie.
funny.
But it is a super funny movie.
I've
I've not actually seen the whole thing, but I
haven't seen the
little
whole
bits
thing.
and pieces are funny. I mean, laugh
the two
sometimes.
police officers are really funny. And then next, another one that's usually on the top of people's lists is 16 Candles.
Yeah. I don't even know what that one's about. Sounds like birthdays.
It's about it's the girl from another movie that we're gonna mention later on in the
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
She's like the quintessential 80s teen star.
Oh, okay.
But it's her 16th birthday, but it's getting overshadowed by her sister's wedding.
Oh.
So there you go with
I
that.
see. All right. And then the last honorable mention is Footloose,
Footloose.
which we don't even know for sure if that's about high schoolers.
I think it
But
is.
we're pretty sure that it is.
Anyways, it's got a pretty sweet song in it.
Footloose, footloose,
Kick off
your Sunday shoes. And put on those other shoes that work for dancing like Footloose.
That song reminds me of 2 things. 3 things, actually. And none of them are Footloose.
Okay.
Reminds me of a Regular Show.
Yes.
There's an episode where they're fighting over a VHS tape or like a tape in a bar.
Okay.
Do you remember this episode?
No.
And Pops is singing on the karaoke machine.
Is that what he sings?
Yeah, he sings Footloose. It reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy
Okay.
because of Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
And that reminds me of Owen Rogers.
Oh, yeah. When he's in the movie theater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's a go check out Owen Rogers.
It makes me think of that other movie where he punch dances his anger out.
Oh,
Because I think that's from Footloose. Is punch
it
dancing.
is. You're right. Hot Rod.
Hot Rod. Thank you. Oh, should
It's not. They're too old for high school.
Oh.
I know. I thought about Hot Rod, but I was like, no. It's implied that they're at least college age.
Okay. They're kind of like they're in a time that
They don't know what they want to do with their lives.
Well, they're like not in high school. They are in high school and they're also in college and they're also adults.
right. Yeah. It's almost like it could be at any point in
Yeah.
those. But like the girl comes back from college.
Oh,
And it's
yeah,
implied
yeah.
that they're around the same age. So I've always thought they were probably like close to mid-20s in that movie. But they're just all washouts.
But
anyway,
when you're 30, you'll think, oh, they were in their 30s.
yeah, exactly. Okay.
Number 10, Daniel.
Number 10. So here's what we're going to do with the first 7.
Because I've not seen any of them.
Yeah. I'm going to say the name of it.
Okay.
And then Philip is going to, based on the title, guess what the movie's about.
Okay.
Although I think a few of them you do know. But
I know enough that I'll make something that sounds right.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. So.
I'm going to actually try on this one.
Okay. All right.
All right. So.
Number 10.
It's going to be great.
Mr. Holland's Opus.
Okay. So I know it's about music.
Okay.
So, and I think he's a music teacher in a high school. I got that. I think I got that. I believe it must be a school. There's got to be some sort of adversity. So maybe it's like an inner city school.
Okay.
And they gotta learn how to play music real good and win that competition. And that's it. I think that's the movie. He wins it. At the end.
You're pretty close.
Okay.
If my memory is helping me out, if
Okay.
it's succeeding, he's a kind of like a washed out composer
Okay.
that gets a job at a high school
Okay.
as a music teacher.
Pretty good so far.
And he's kind of he's a grumpy old man because he wasn't able to do what he wanted. He was a composer, and
Yeah.
he got this job at this high school. Well, basically, he finds fulfillment there,
Oh.
and the end is very heartwarming. That I won't share it here.
Thanks.
You're welcome, because I want you to watch the movie because it's really good.
All right, and it's music related.
And it's music related, so I think you'll like it.
So
but
is it
yeah,
about high school or is it about Mr. Holland?
well, no. So I mean, that's the thing about at least 3 of the movies on here
Uh-huh.
is that it's more so about the teacher than the kids.
Yeah.
But it is at a high school.
Okay.
But yeah, this is definitely. I mean, it's about the teacher in this film.
Is it inner city?
Huh?
Is it inner city?
I don't
school?
remember.
It is. Definitely is.
Oh, by the way, another rule that we have for this list is Philip sent me a whole bunch of movies earlier,
Yeah.
and
And then you just scratched them all
I
away.
disqualified them because they were either like a sports movie or a musical or some other genre of a film, and we wanted to focus in on like just like it's basically just about either the high school or the high school kids or people that age.
Yeah. So I said, hey, Daniel, here's a list of movies that I've seen. Now see what you can do with it. And he said, none of them.
I did. I shut it down.
It's real thankful for you. All right.
I think it's more funny when you don't know what's going on. But you did well on that one,
All
Philip.
right.
Okay.
Perks of Being a Wallflower, number 9.
That's number 9. What do you think that's about?
I think that the Perks of Being a Wallflower is about me because that's basically me. So it's
Okay.
about a guy that is he would be kind of a guy that's a downer. Kind
Okay.
of like the guy from Stranger Things.
Which
the
guy?
brother that loves taking pictures.
Oh. Okay.
He's kind of a wallflower of sorts. And it's about learning how to love yourself. And all the hijinks that you can get in high school when you learn to be okay.
Okay.
With who you are.
What do you think the tone of this movie is about? Like, what do you think the tone is?
I think it's a comedy.
Okay. So, I'd say you got 29%.
Hey. Better than none.
Better than none. You know what's better than nuns is monks. Haha. Get it? Just kidding.
Oh.
So Perks of Being a Wallflower is about Logan Lerman.
Who's that?
Remember Fury?
Yes.
The main kid in Fury?
Yeah.
It's him.
Oh, you mean the actor? It's about the actor?
The actor, yeah.
It's actually about him?
No, I'm saying he plays the main character.
Oh.
I think his name's Charlie in
Okay.
the movie. So he's young and kind of unsure of himself.
Okay, I was right.
You're right about that.
29%.
And it's implied that he's got some trauma
Oh.
going on from something in his
So
past.
not a funny movie.
There are humorous elements, but overall, it's kind of a bleak movie.
Okay.
Basically, he goes to a new high school, and two seniors take him under their wing, a guy and a girl. And then it's just kind of, he falls for the girl.
Obviously. But the other guy gets her.
But then actually the other guy's gay.
Oh.
The senior guy. And then it's kind of an uncomfortable movie.
Oh.
So he like the senior girl that he falls for, she kind of reciprocates feelings, but not really. And then it kind of just goes on, and he ends up getting a different girlfriend.
Sounds like high school.
It sounds like high school, exactly. It's a very accurate portrayal of high school. But he doesn't really want to be in the relationship with this girl. It's just kind of like the group kind of all not wanted them to date, but knew it was going to happen, so he kind of just fell into it.
Yeah.
Well, they're at a party at one point, and like they're playing Truth or Dare, and someone dares him to kiss the prettiest girl in the circle, and he doesn't kiss his girlfriend. He kisses the senior girl. And so there's just like really like parts that kind of make your skin crawl and like make you really uncomfortable. At one point, like the senior boy like makes a move on him, and like I don't know. And poor kid, like he's so quiet and reserved, and he's just kind of like thrown into this thing. Not that they're,
Sounds like there's no perks to being a wallflower.
Well,
that's what that should have been titled.
So then he kind of, probably because I'm going to tell you this one because I know you probably won't watch it. He has like a mental breakdown
Okay.
about probably like 3/4 of the way in.
Okay.
And then the implications that you kind of are getting throughout the rest of the movie of him going through a traumatic experience. His aunt had like done some stuff with him in the past.
Oh.
But then she died in a car wreck.
Okay.
So like it just a lot of emotions and feelings kind of in his mind that he wasn't sure how to
deal with.
But the ending actually is fairly happy. He gets out of like I don't want to call it an institution, but it might be that after he has his meltdown. And then it ends with a scene that's kind of set up earlier. They're driving through a tunnel, and he's like out the back window, and they have a song playing by David Bowie, I believe. And it's just kind of like enjoying the smaller moments in life is essentially the lesson of the film.
Well, so why do you like this movie more than Mr. Holland's Opus?
Because it's sad.
Oh.
And it gets, I don't know, it feels like high school kids. Like
I see.
You actually kind of are like, man, this feels a lot like high school. And his performance is really good in it.
You must have had a really awful high school.
What?
You must have had a really awful high school if this reminds you of high school.
All right, number 8 is Stand and Deliver. Do you know what this movie is?
Nah, never even heard of this movie. So I think Stand and Deliver must be about Amazon shipment people. And you got to stand up and deliver those packages. You know what I'm saying? And a kid that, he gets a delivery. Maybe it's an older movie and it's newspaper delivery.
Okay.
And he has to learn how to deliver papers in high school and get up early.
So I'd say you got probably 0.5% right. The only thing you said that was right was it's kind of an older movie.
Okay, all right. And
I think it was
about a guy?
older as in like mid-90s, I believe.
Okay.
So it's not like super old. Although mid-90s is getting far away from us, Philip.
That's not too far. That is more than far away.
95 is almost 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this movie is about a teacher. This one kind of revolves more around the teacher.
Stand and deliver your teacher.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
So this is a what's that word you were saying about the Mr. Holland's Opus High School?
Inner city.
Inner city. This is more around kind of like that.
Okay.
And he comes in and is teaching calculus.
Yeah.
And the class that he's teaching ends up having a 100% passing rate on the test.
Wait, who stars in this?
He's not in a whole lot.
Okay.
But yeah, and then basically the school government, I don't know, but
They don't believe him.
Yeah,
right?
they don't believe that.
Yeah, I
they,
do
they
know
think
this
that they
movie.
cheated, that all of them cheated.
Is this a straight to TV movie?
I don't believe so. Possibly.
I've seen it.
Okay.
I've definitely seen a movie very strangely like this, but I vaguely remember it being the actor from Friends, one of the Friends actors.
No.
I don't know what that movie is, but I think it might be the same movie that's been stolen.
I lied. This movie came out in 1988.
Oh,
But no, yeah, it's really good, and it just shows he's honest. He was a good teacher.
okay.
He inspired the kids, but he was very hard on them, and pushed them to basically their limits. What are you looking up?
I'm looking it up right now. I'm going to tell you if Matthew Perry is in a movie that I believe that he is. in. The Ron Clark story.
Oh, good memory, Philip.
Yeah,
that
I
was
definitely did that right now.
Yeah, that was
figured
just
it all
on the
out.
fly.
On the fly, knew it right on the top of my head. It's the TNT original.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like the same thing though.
Okay. Well, this Stand and Deliver obviously came before.
Yes,
It was in 1988.
I saw the remake. I guess.
Okay. Although, and within those 5 seconds of
Yeah.
you thinking,
Yeah.
very miraculously thinking of what movie that was,
Yeah.
I looked on IMDb and the trivia, and I didn't see anything about it being a remake.
Well,
So,
I'm not sure if you can trust IMDb.
oh my gosh. But yeah, this movie's good.
Stand and Deliver.
You Stand and Deliver, because it just shows that he was a good teacher.
Okay.
He was very inspiring, but he also pushed the kids to basically to their limits to make sure that they passed.
That's cool.
So yeah,
And they got good at calculus, huh?
they got good at calculus. Yep, and then
It's
they
a
all
true story.
I don't know.
I want to believe it's true.
I hope it is. I think it is actually. But and then when they all pass, they all go to the ocean and get in fully clothed.
That's fun.
Yeah,
Why did you tell me that?
because when I was watching, I was like, that was weird. That was a weird scene. Anyways, number 7, Philip, what is it?
It's a movie about Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
You know what's funny? It's the first time I ever watched this movie.
Yeah. You're
The
with a mean girl.
no, the very next night I watched a movie called The Nice Guys,
That's funny.
and that's not a joke. I just found it ironic. But yeah, what do you think Mean Girls is about, Philip?
So this one is about who's the main actress in it?
Lindsay Lohan.
It's about Lindsay Lohan and how she's a homeschooled girl. Mm-hmm. I know that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She comes to a real high school, and there's a group of girls that are mean, and she is not mean at first, but then she becomes mean, and the result of the movie is that she becomes not mean at the end.
Everyone give Philip a round of applause.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
There's nothing I could have said more.
I
so
thought
let's
so.
so let's just move on.
All right. Why is this movie funny? Sounds awful. Sounds like a big prank to watch.
So Tina Fey
Yeah.
is the teacher.
And she's the director too, right? Or the writer?
She either directed it or wrote it or something. But so there's a lot of kind of SNL type humor in it.
Okay.
Because then like Tim Meadows is in it.
Who's that?
The guy on the Even Stevens movie. The
Yeah, the
guy that is in the episode of The Office, the Baby
Yeah.
Back Ribs episode.
Yes. I love him.
He's one of the teachers. And he's really funny. And so basically the setup is she was homeschooled, but she lived in Africa.
Oh, so she was like a missionary. Girl.
Yeah. So when she comes back, the first scene, she's kind of comparing high school to the jungle.
Oh, geez.
So it's like, it shows like the jocks or whatever, and they're acting like monkeys.
Yeah.
So there's just funny humor like that in it. And then, the dynamics between the high schoolers are just really funny. I don't know. It's a humorous movie.
Okay.
It's more quirky than like Perks of Being a Wallflower or something like that.
I see. See, yeah, because when it first came out, I was in high school, I think.
Okay.
And I remember thinking, well, I don't know what year this came out. I probably wasn't in high school.
You were probably around that age.
But anyway, it just looked like another dumb high school movie.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is on the surface it does, but it actually ends up being fairly funny.
So that's what I've heard, but I just don't believe anybody.
And one of the
So-
main girls gets hit by a bus at the end.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be worth watching.
She
then.
doesn't die, but
What's the point?
but it is very abrupt, and you're not anticipating it. It's really funny. But okay, so let's move on.
Yeah. What's next, Daniel?
Number 6. This is one of my favorite high school movies ever.
Okay.
Juno.
Juno?
Juno.
You know what? I don't know if you know this, but I've never seen this movie.
Yeah, we've talked about it at least once before in the podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe twice.
So let's see if I know what this is about.
Yep.
I know it's about a boy and a girl, and he gets the girl pregnant. And it's about how she wants the baby and he doesn't. The other way around? No? All right. It's about how they learn what it's like to be parents before they become parents.
I'd give you like 50.
All right.
A 50.
All right, she
Maybe
gets pregnant,
maybe
though,
like
right?
55.
I remember scenes that she has a big belly.
Yeah, okay. So it's Ellen Page.
Uh-huh.
And starts out and she gets pregnant with Michael Cera. Thing is, Michael Cera's not in it a whole lot.
Really?
Yeah. It more focuses on her trying to find a husband and wife to take the baby.
Oh, so I was kind of right.
Yeah, but you're right in the fact that like she kind of is learning as she goes that what it's kind of like to be mature and be, it's a coming of age story.
Okay. Is it funny or is it serious? Or is it serious funny?
It's serious funny.
Okay.
A lot of the humor comes from the scenarios,
Yeah.
but it's not like an overtly like comedic movie.
Yeah.
Michael Cera, there's humor with him, but it's just because he's an awkward kid.
Yeah.
Like there's a really funny scene where he's running track, and one of his buddies runs up to him,
Yeah.
and they have like a 15-second conversation, and the kid's like asking him about what it's like to know that he's gonna have a kid on the way, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like really awkward. And then once it kind of dies off, the kid that ran up's like, "All right, well, see you after gym," and just like runs away again. But then, so it more so focuses on her, Juno, Jason Bateman.
Oh, he's in there?
He's the husband of the couple that she's thinking about giving the baby to.
Okay.
And then Jennifer Gardner, who's the wife. And some relationship dynamics kind of start to unfold that you're not really expecting.
Oh.
But then also it's like kind of throws you for a curveball because you're thinking one character is kind of made out to be the antagonist, but then it ends up being the
Another
other
one?
Yeah, so it's engaging, and you're kind of
who directed this movie?
Shoot, you can't just ask me that, Philip.
Yeah, I can.
You can't just ask me that.
Your IMDb and I'm in there.
Jason Reitman.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he hasn't done like a whole lot.
Okay.
At least a whole lot that you would know.
Okay. Just like Felipe is Patreon, you are IMDb and Niem.
He's asking me questions, and it just
Yeah.
But then J.K. Simmons is in it.
What?
He's Juno's dad.
Oh, he seems like a good dad.
He's
that would be
so-
a good character to have as a person that of a daughter has
Yes.
a daughter that wants.
He's
that is
so
pregnant.
it's really when she tells him about it, and he asks who the boy is.
Yeah.
She like tells him, and instead of being angry, he's like disappointed.
Yeah.
Because he's such a nerd. But then it's kind of like it also when the scenes between Ellen Page and Michael Cera they're pretty like cutesy. They have a very simplistic relationship.
Yeah.
But you can tell that they honestly care about each other. So it ends happy. And it ends with them, Juno and the boy on good terms and stuff like that. So it's a good movie.
That's good.
It was up for Best Picture, I believe.
Really?
The year it came out, yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I like this movie quite a bit. In fact, I kind of want to watch it again.
All right.
But yeah, so I'd say you were about half right
Okay.
with the plot.
You know what we've been half right about?
What?
You know, how many listeners we have and how many of them want to become patrons.
Oh,
We've been about half right that some of them want to do it.
okay.
That's not really true. It's been
Should I-
about,
Should I call out to Kathy?
I just don't want to bother her today.
Okay.
She
I know.
she's been watching football.
Well, we had her fly in from Colorado just to
Yeah.
do this today, but we won't. We just won't bother.
Yeah, she's just been laying
She doesn't
around.
care.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No need to have the music today.
Okay.
Oh, did you
Did
hear
she-
that? I think she might be up. Well, I mean, we don't.
I don't think.
You don't. Okay.
No crap. Get out of here. Shoo. All right.
I really hate it. I just hate it when she bothers us.
I
like
know.
that.
Why does she think she can just enter in the room like that?
I don't know.
Man, this is awkward.
Why is she still here?
Oh, wait. We should take some science classes and get some more chemistry for this bit right now.
Okay.
Because for whatever reason, we're just firing, but they're
Nothing's
missing.
happened?
It's missing.
Nothing's happened?
Our neurons are missing right now. Hold on. We're gonna do it, Philip. We're gonna do it right here while we're recording.
Okay.
Philip,
Huh.
what is Patreon?
Oh,
Tell me.
It's funny you should ask. So
Yeah.
Patreon is a thing that we like to have, and the reason we like to have it is because we care about our show.
Yeah, we do.
We care a lot about our show. We put a lot of work into it. Though I do recall earlier saying we shouldn't do that because that's too much work. But but outside of that, small moments like that, we put a lot of work into this show.
Yeah.
We take time. It takes about 2 hours each week for us to do this.
Yeah.
And
But it could take us just as long, but we'd get more money for it.
it's weird how that works.
Yeah.
If more people gave us money. So how it works is we'd probably do more to the show.
For show.
I'd probably make some more cool music.
More cool music,
Some cool more music.
more graphics,
Yeah, really cool graphics.
more behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. We'd actually finish putting our episodes on YouTube.
That's true. We'd probably go out and about and muck around out in public
Yeah.
and put it on Patreon.
It would be great. But
We would do like Billy on the Streets type of stuff where we'd go out and talk to people
yeah.
and ask them what their lists are, stuff like that.
Yeah. So if you're the kind of person that says, "Wow, that sounds great. I wish I could do that." How do you do that, Daniel?
Oh, you go to Classic Countdown Conversations on Patreon and you donate
Yeah.
to one of our 3 tiers.
Yeah. The first tier it's a $5 tier. And it's called Fluffy Curtains tier.
Yep.
And you get behind the scenes footage that only you get if you become a patron.
Oh, she must have heard us talking about it because the music just came on. It's okay. It's all right.
No, she's just gonna bother me now.
No,
for
it's
the rest
okay.
of the day.
Just-
She's like, "Why didn't you call out to me
It's
like
okay.
you always do?"
If she says anything to us when we finish the episode, we'll just kind of push her down.
Okay.
She doesn't have that much self-defense anymore. She's old.
She's pretty
She's getting
frail.
up there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
What is she, like 92?
something like that.
Yeah. So it's okay. Literally, I could just push her over with my finger, and she'd probably break like her hip and maybe some ribs.
Maybe we
and
should-
we'll just leave her here until next time we come down and record.
I think I might accidentally do that.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. And here's the thing: if that was just with one finger, we could both go and just drop kick her,
Yeah. Wow.
and then she would never leave again. Although I kind of want her to leave though. Maybe we'll do it out in the parking lot.
Yes.
We'll be like,
yes.
"Oh, Kathy, come out here. We got something for you,"
Oh,
and then we'll drop
Daniel.
kick her. What?
There's one small flaw.
What?
We need somebody to press play on the music.
Oh, you mean moving forward?
Yeah.
After that?
Yeah. I think we have to keep her.
Dang it.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's a $5 tier, and then you got the $10 tier.
The $10 tier, that is the Hitler Bowser tier.
Mm-hmm.
You get the same stuff behind the scenes footage. You get to be our best friend, but you also get an annual gift, which, by the way,
Yeah.
is gonna
It's gonna
in
change
about
here
4
soon.
months. It's gonna change to something else. So if you want a classic Countdown Conversations gift
From this year.
from this year, go ahead and join.
I'm sorry, this season.
This season, although no, because we didn't start doing Patreon until January.
well,
So that's going to be
I guess it is
our
this year then.
cutoff.
It is actually
it's
by
the
years.
year. Yeah, it's not by seasons. But yeah, if you want our gift from this year, then you better go join.
Yeah.
And
there's-
if you join, then maybe look into joining the $100 tier.
yeah, which is called the I'm Rich tier.
And that's the same stuff that you get with the $10 tier and nothing more.
That's right.
Just the pride of knowing that you are rich.
Yeah.
And that you're helping out the little guy.
That's right. And there's a little known fact that you can always add more to your patronage.
Yeah.
You don't have to just do $10 or $100. You could do $50 if you wanted.
Yeah. Oh, for
If you
sure.
were like into that sort of thing. I don't know if you would be, but you could.
Yeah, maybe you're not as rich.
Yeah.
You're
just
like,
half
oh,
rich.
you're like, I am rich, but I don't want to spend 100.
Yeah.
So I'll do half of that. I'll do 50.
Now listen. Here's
Don't be a cheapskate. No.
Don't be cheap steak. But let's say you're in high school and you don't have a job.
Get the money from your parents.
Get the money from your parents, and then if they don't have a job, all right,
Find them one.
find them a job, and then have them join a Patreon. But the other thing that you could do is tell your friends about our show.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basic. Tell your rich friends about our show.
Very specifically, your rich friends.
Yeah.
We would like that rich audience.
Okay.
I think that's it.
That's it.
You
We're
can-
affiliated with Sonos.
I'm just tired of that.
Okay.
I don't want to deal with it anymore.
All right. We're gonna drop kick those
Yeah.
things.
Those
out of our
don't
lives.
have any value to me.
All right.
Nobody's done it,
Well.
and I don't believe anybody will do it.
All right. I already know that if I yell at Kathy right now, she's not going to turn off the music. So I'm just going to go kind of push her out of the way and then
Okay.
turn it off myself.
Okay. All right.
So you can go ahead and talk about our next one, what you think it's about.
Oh, okay. So number 5 is American Graffiti. Now this one, I'm not so sure about. You see, I would normally think that
off the music.
like American Graffiti would be about like kids that are in the inner city that really love doing graffiti. But I happen to know this movie has, I think, Ron Howard in it. And he's not that kind of guy that would really want to, graffiti up the place. So I think it's about Ron Howard and how,
He's an artist.
yes, how he's an artist. And he learns how to make artistic graffiti.
Is that your guess?
Yes.
The only thing you got right was Ron Howard is in it.
All right. Well, why did you trick me then?
Oh, because I wanted you to get it wrong. American Graffiti. So this one
He
is
drives in a truck.
remember when I said that Dazed and Confused
Yeah.
was similar to another movie?
Yeah.
That's this one.
Ron Howard gets high.
No. So
Little Ronnie
basically,
Howard
from
from my favorite show.
well, actually, did you know that this movie was kind of the reason why Happy Days exists?
I love Happy Days.
And he's on Happy Days.
Oh. So the show really should have been called Happy Days with a Z.
No, this one's not as much about getting high. This one is about a group of graduating seniors.
Okay.
It's their last night before they go off to college.
Oh.
So it's basically they're just driving around town all night.
That's fun.
And it's about the relationships, the dynamics of all the kids. The fact that they're having to leave some of their friends, and the younger classmen are sad, stuff like that. That's what American Graffiti is, and really, this is probably the only good thing George Lucas ever did.
It surprised me when I saw that he directed it.
Yeah, because
Did he write it at all?
I
can't imagine that he did.
Because you know what they say about the Star Wars movies, Philip,
What's that?
is that the first one was saved in editing,
Yeah.
and the second two weren't directed by him. So, so
Is that true?
Yeah.
He didn't really direct the other two?
no?
What did he do?
He
Just sat
like
there?
helped produce and stuff like that, but he didn't direct them. So yeah, this is probably the best thing he ever actually did was American Graffiti. But yeah, so it's a nice little. I like movies like this to where it's more about the sentimentality of things.
Yeah.
You know, longing for the olden days and stuff like that. You know me.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
very.
how I
It
long
sounds
for the olden days.
sounds nostalgic.
Yeah. Yep.
Sounds like Daniel's nostalgia.
And like American Graffiti, I feel like it's just an iconic movie. That it, like even if you've never seen it or you don't really know what it is, you probably are familiar with that name and that
Yeah.
it's a classic Hollywood film.
I had no idea that it was about high school.
Yeah,
Tell
but
you what,
you
I
knew that it
definitely
was a
knew that
thing,
I
right?
knew that it existed.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like it's engraved in pop culture, even if you don't really know what it is or anything like that.
All right. What's number 4?
Number 4 is Dead Poets Society.
Now this one I've got a lot of ideas about.
Okay.
So, dead people. It's a ghost high school movie. So, dead poet, and they love poetry. So, but a lot of spooky poetry, I guess. So, and it's I mean, like, what more do you need for a synopsis than that? I guess the end is that they learn that not all poetry has to be so spooky.
All right. 0. Did you have any other guesses, Philip?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
I think that's about as close as I can get.
So this one is
I guess it's about poetry, though.
So this one rounds out the trilogy of teacher high school movies that we have on the list.
All right.
And guess who the teacher is?
Was this the Robin Williams one?
It is. So Robin Williams is basically he comes in and he is teaching poetry.
Hey, so I
literature.
did get a 0.
Well, obviously
Give
it's
me
about
some
poetry.
cred. Give me some cred.
Okay,
all
whatever.
right.
Anyways, so he basically teaches these kids that poetry and literature doesn't have to be so like boring and stale, and he really gives these kids a passion for like the arts and stuff like that throughout the course of the movie. It's kind of just like him bonding with the kids, and the kids really like looking up to him as a authority figure and as a teacher. And something towards the end happens.
Okay.
I don't want to give it away. That kind of leads him to leave the school.
Ghosts.
And then you've probably at least seen or know of this scene. It's where they all stand on their desk at the end.
Oh, kind of.
Okay. And they say, "Oh, Captain, my captain."
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's this movie. And it ends with him saying, "Thank you, boys," and he walks out.
Are there no girls?
No, nope.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all. I don't remember if it. I think it's an all boys school.
Okay.
But just that scene just gave me chills thinking about it. It's really
Wow.
good, Philip. I
Okay.
think don't watch it with Lindsay.
Oh. Why?
Because it's probably the most depressing one on the list.
Oh. Because they all die at the end. Huh?
No, but maybe you and I could watch it sometime.
Okay.
But it's really good.
All right.
It's probably either his best or second best performance ever.
Wow.
Robin Williams.
Is this like one of the first movies that he did
he
more
is younger.
serious?
He is younger. Yeah. If Good Will Hunting didn't exist, then I would say that it's for sure probably his best
That's
performance.
another him being a teacher, right?
He's a therapist in that.
Oh, okay.
But if that one didn't exist, then this would definitely be number 1. But Good Will Hunting gives it a run for its money. So,
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. Number
And
3.
The top 3.
Wow. The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. So here's the thing: you haven't seen it,
but I know.
Very surprisingly, I'm very surprised you haven't seen this movie.
I'm surprised I haven't either.
But I'm sure you know what it's about. Everyone knows what this movie's about.
It's about a group of kids that are just the worst, and they get
Hey,
into,
say it like a stupid rom-com trailer voice.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Breakfast Club, more like Losers Club. This movie's about all your favorite kids getting detention and having a good time while doing so. They also sneak out, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, that was actually more of like an 80s trailer. If you go back and watch 80s trailers, they just like go beat by beat through
Yeah.
the movie and tell you what's going to happen. So literally, I haven't seen the trailer for this movie, but I bet you anything it's like no one likes school, especially Saturday school. You're going to join these 5 wacky characters on their adventure as they come to terms that they're all human and the social classes in high school are meaningless. I don't know. It's probably something like that.
This is John Hughes, right?
Yeah. Yep. So is 16 Candles
Oh, yeah.
in our honorable mentions. And
He
so,
likes high school.
So is another movie.
Another one.
Too. But yeah, so this is probably when most people think of high school movies. This is probably what they think of, I would assume.
I think it's one of the main ones.
Yeah. So it's about our five heroes.
Oh,
our 5
they're all
characters.
heroes?
They're all flawed heroes, Philip. That get Saturday school detention. I guess it's all day. I think they're
Sucks.
there for 8 hours.
That sucks.
The principal is there, or whatever he is. I think he's the principal.
Sucks
or
for
vice
that principal then, too.
Uh,
Man, no wonder.
Well, he's a jerk.
Well, no wonder he is a jerk.
That's
'cause He's
true.
having to go to Saturday
true.
school with them.
But basically, you get the 5 kids, and they represent pretty much the 5 different personalities you
Okay,
might
all right.
come
Let
across.
me try to figure out what those 5 are.
okay.
All right, you got the cheerleader.
There's 2 girls and 3 boys, so maybe that will help. A little
2
bit.
girls and 3 boys.
Yeah.
All right, you got the nerd. Mm-hmm. You got the jock.
Yes.
You got the punk.
Yes.
You got so now it's 2 girls. Mm-hmm. The pretty girl and then the not pretty girl.
Yeah, kind of. So yeah, you got right on with the 3 boys.
Okay.
You got the nerd, the jock, and the punk.
Okay.
With the girls, you get the pretty popular girl.
Yeah.
Which is you pretty much got, and then you get the quiet weirdo.
Okay. Okay.
With the other girl.
They're all beautiful.
They're all and obviously like they probably try to make the awkward girl a little uglier than she actually was. But this movie has become so engraved in pop culture that you probably have seen so many other movie scenes like either parody it or like do something with it that it's originated from this movie. So there's the montage later on in the movie where they all kind of finally realize that they can get along even though they're from different like personality types and cliques and stuff like that. So it's kind of just a montage of them having fun. And the 3 boys are like on the table and they're like walking like this really close to each other. Yeah, if you saw the visual, not me doing it here on the chair, but actually saw it, then you'd be like, oh yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get Emilio Estevez in this movie. He's the jock.
Okay.
You get the girl from 16 Candles. She's the popular girl.
Yep.
You get that guy that played all the nerds in the 80s.
He's the same guy.
And Weird Science.
Yeah.
He's in all those.
Big old thick glasses.
Yeah. But the main character is he's the punk kid.
Oh, that's the main character.
I would say that he's the main
Oh,
one.
I figured that they all kind of equally got.
They do. Part. I mean, they're all like, I'd say the nerd and the quiet girl probably get the least of the screen time.
Figures.
But the punk is definitely
John Hughes.
John Hughes lived an incredibly sheltered life and didn't realize, he was extremely rich growing up, but he didn't realize he was rich.
Oh, really? Does he say
that's
that?
all his characters and all. I mean, think of well, we'll get it to it in a little bit, but
Yeah, that's true.
they're
now that I know what
incredibly
you're about
rich,
to say.
but
Yeah,
they never make mention of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
rich white people.
Rich, yeah, he grew up in California.
Yeah.
He was, anyways, nothing on him. I love John Hughes. He just didn't really realize, because nowadays, if you made The Breakfast Club, then
Yeah, where's the poor people?
you'd probably have maybe 3 white kids,
Yeah,
definitely an African American kid,
Yeah.
probably an Asian person.
we should make that trailer.
But back then they're all white.
Yep.
So he just kind of lived a sheltered life growing up. But anyways, so it's just them kind of they have kind of a powwow at one point where they just all lay into each other and like, point out each other's flaws and why they are the way that they are. The principal pulls aside the punk at one point and takes him into like a storage closet and just like yells at him.
Oh.
And this guy, the punk, who the whole movie's put on like this facade that like nothing gets to him. He like starts like to break down in the closet. So there's a lot of heart to it that you probably wouldn't realize if you're just looking at it on face value. But
Do they escape? Is that a thing?
no, they don't escape. They run around the school and stuff and try to avoid him and whatnot.
Okay.
But they write him a letter at the end.
The principal?
Yeah, and they're like, you can't tell us who we are.
Oh, we are who we are.
We are who we are.
You can't mold us.
Yeah, exactly. They're rebelling.
I see.
But then the school is huge, so they basically leave the day realizing that they will probably never talk to each other ever again.
Oh.
Because of their social circles and because certain people, the pretty popular girl, her social circle are gonna treat the others like outcasts, and the jock is gonna hang out with the athletes and stuff like that. So it's basically just them having one day together where they kind of bond and stuff like that, but they go their separate ways at the end.
Cool.
Okay.
Number 2?
Number 2.
Is this mine?
I don't know whose this is.
It's mine.
Okay.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay, so number 1 and 2, Philip has seen. So, so yeah, let's just talk about Napoleon Dynamite because I freaking love this movie.
Okay, so you need to defend this as being higher than the Breakfast Club.
Okay, yeah, because that's right. You wanted Breakfast Club to be higher.
I wanted
right?
Breakfast Club to be higher, even though I'd never seen it.
It can be, but
well, okay, that's not something you can say on the podcast. We must be firm in our.
Oh, whoops!
decision.
No, Philip. This is why it's number 2.
There you go.
I like this movie because it takes the sense of, when you're living life. I think this goes for a lot of people, if not everyone. But movies kind of encapsulate. That's not even a right. Encapsulate. They kind of capture big moments. Which is fine. That's a story.
Mm-hmm.
Storytelling is about capturing the big moments of something.
Yeah.
But when you're living life, not a whole lot happens big on like a day-to-day basis. It's when you look back and you're like, oh yeah, a lot happened that year.
Yeah.
But as you're living it, it doesn't seem that way. That's what I love about this movie is it does just seem like a day-to-day life of these teenagers in this high school out in Idaho, like out in the middle of nowhere. They go to the dance. They run for student body. They get a job at a chicken farm. They, his uncle comes to watch them because his grandma injured herself.
Yeah.
They see a cow get shot by a school bus.
They do karate.
They go to a taekwondo scam artist. The uncle and Kip try to, sell things throughout the movie. They're trying to get like extra cash. Oh, it's just like things that when you look back, you and I may look back 5 years ago and be like, remember for 2 months we did this thing?
Remember when we did a podcast for a whole year?
Yeah. And then we realized no one likes it, so we
Yeah,
gave up on
yeah.
it. I mean,
That'll never happen.
that'll never happen. No, and yeah, so you kind of just like look back on it and you're like, I guess I did do a lot that year,
Yeah.
but at the time it just is mundane and it's life and you don't think a whole lot about it. That's what I think this movie, everyone overlooks this movie as either being overrated because it was huge when it came out,
Yeah.
or they kind of pass it off as being an awkward movie with really no like motivation to it.
Yeah.
And I've never gotten that out of this movie. I've gotten the sense of just like, and you know, it's kind of cheesy and kind of cliche, but just be yourself and you'll be accepted by people is kind of the lesson. Like my favorite aspect of the film is throughout the movie, you know, he's playing tetherball by
Yeah.
himself.
And at the end.
And at the end, he gets someone to play tetherball with him. And it's because he helped out his friend and was himself, and everyone accepted him.
Yeah.
And it's just so quaint. I think that's what I like about this movie is that it's not over the top.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, that almost looks like just watching a home video of someone in high school. I love all the characters. They're all hilarious and have a little bit more going on, you know, underneath the surface. And I don't know. I just love this movie.
So how long did it take you to perfect your Napoleon Dynamite impression?
My impression?
Yeah, because everybody that ever saw this movie decided that they were going to be Napoleon Dynamite and get their impression down.
I don't have like the voice down. I do. I have the run.
Oh yeah, you do the run pretty good.
And the dance at the end.
Dance.
I do something. One time I was in a theater group. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And we were supposed to go up, and one person was supposed to be doing something, and another person was supposed to be shadowing them. And the audience had to guess what they were doing.
Oh,
but the person had to shadow them until they stopped. Well, I went up and started doing the Napoleon Dynamite dance.
Nice.
And I went about 5 seconds, and everyone was like, Napoleon Dynamite! I was like, thank you, I'll see you all next year. And I ran out of the building.
Yeah, sweet.
No, yeah. This movie makes me laugh more than any other movie
Whoa.
ever.
Whoa.
Every time I watch this movie, it makes me laugh harder than I laughed the previous time, and I find new things about it every time that make me laugh.
I believe it's been a long time since I've seen it.
I probably watched it like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, when talking about comedies, it's definitely my favorite comedy
Gotcha.
of all time. It's just something about it hits a nerve with me, and it makes me laugh.
Man, oh man.
Do you have anything to say about Napoleon Dynamite?
Well, you kind of took it all.
Okay.
So, no. Nah.
What's your favorite part? Because there's so many different little bits in this movie.
My favorite part is probably there's two. One is when they get the time machine. And then two is when LaFonda and what's his name get married. Kip.
Oh, and they get married.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the credits.
It's not even in the movie.
That's also
Well, actually, and LaFonda coming out of the bus.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good moment.
I think there's just so many. I love when he goes out and feeds Tina.
Yeah.
And he gets so angry so quickly that this llama won't do what he says. But I think my favorite aspect of this movie is Kip's character arc.
Yeah.
Because he goes from this nerd to like this gangster.
Yeah.
Because of LaFonda.
Yeah.
I love that scene when Napoleon's been working out to his new tape that he got at Goodwill that he also found a freaking dagger at. And he comes down to the kitchen, he's all sweaty, and he like is drinking his Powerade, and he's like, "Who are you?" To LaFonda. He doesn't like freak out or anything. He's so nonchalant about it. And she's like, "I'm waiting for Kip," or whatever. And then Kip comes down and he has like gold chains and like a backwards hat or a bandana or whatever. And he's just like acting like he's too cool for her. And, he gives Napoleon life advice. I don't know. That whole scene just makes me laugh so hard. How Napoleon drinks his Powerade is really funny. I don't know. Good movie.
I feel like when Jared Hess was directing it.
Yeah.
Am I right? Did I just pull that out of my
You
butt
did.
just now?
Yep,
that
Jared
was
Hess.
awesome.
Good job.
It felt like I won a competition just now. I feel like every moment he was like, okay, how can I make this more like extraordinary
Yeah.
in some sort of way? So when you drank that power, it'd make it ridiculous.
Yeah, just like, yeah.
And when you're feeding the llama, get angry really quick. So I like that.
Oh my.
I appreciate that.
There's just so many details that are just like I've never seen in another movie before. Like when they're at the chicken farm and they're eating like freaking gross like hard boiled eggs and drinking this like juice that they've made out of egg yolks. One of the farmers starts talking, you can't understand a word he's saying. And then the other one like pats his chest twice and he's like, I can't find my checkbook. Hope I pay you change. That's another one of my favorite lines is right after that Napoleon's counting the change on the table. He's like, $6. It's like $1 an hour.
What is interesting about this movie now that we're talking about it,
Yeah.
is that it's like very ordinary, but also like nothing is like none of it would ever happen at the same time.
Yeah.
In a sense,
Well, but the thing, I mean, we grew up in Dayton, so maybe it would never happen here,
could happen. In
but it could happen
Idaho.
out in a hick town like that, out in the middle of
possibility.
nowhere. You know what's funny? Speaking of my theater days,
Yeah.
back in the very early days, I knew two brothers, and their names were Jared and Chris Hess.
Really?
Yeah. I always thought that was so funny growing up. I was like, hey, you
directed that movie.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, they didn't though.
And you know what he went on to direct after this that sucks?
What's? Oh no, it doesn't suck.
Nacho Libre.
No.
Can't stand that movie.
I love it.
Made me laugh 3 times compared to Napoleon Dynamite, which I never stop laughing.
He also directed another movie after that I think is funny, from what I hear.
Oh, really? From what you
From what I hear, I never saw it. It's got the two guys from that they're like a comedy duo that do music,
Oh.
and they had a show on not MTV, HBO.
Oh.
What are their names?
I don't know.
Ugh.
I don't know. We'll look it
I
up
got
after.
Jared Hess, and then my memory just broke.
It's okay. That was the most impressive thing you've ever done on the show.
I think so.
All right. All right. What's number 1, Philip?
You tell me.
Number 1 is another John Hughes film,
Yes.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh,
This film is amazing. And
this is the very. This is like you said that Breakfast Club might be what people think of.
yeah.
Other people might think that, but I think
No,
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And that's what I was going to say was, to me, this is the quintessential high school film.
Yeah.
Even though they don't spend a whole lot of time in high school, in the
Yeah.
actual school, it's about just, I don't know, this movie's got so much heart to it.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first watched this movie?
I think I had like grown up watching it, just when it was on TV and stuff.
Yeah.
First time I ever watched it front to back was probably like middle school.
Yeah. I feel like I watched it young, which is surprising
Yeah.
because it's got some more adult themes in it.
Well,
But-
it's got some language in it.
Yeah. But I guess it's not too. Yeah, it's not too adult.
No.
Nah.
Nah.
But it I think that I wanted high school to feel like this movie, so it did its job.
This movie made me sad at points that I didn't actually go to school because I wanted to skip it.
You can't skip homeschool.
Exactly.
You can't sleep in too long.
This movie is in my top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
It is. It might be. I'm gonna say it, Philip.
Oh.
It might be a perfect film.
Whoa.
Name one thing that's not good about it. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now there might be some like technical things here and there. No movie is like absolutely without its flaws, but like as far as performance, story, all that stuff, characters, writing, like I think it's perfect.
It is really good.
But But yeah, who's your favorite character in this film?
Cameron,
Yeah, same.
for sure.
Ferris has grown on me as I've gotten older.
He's a good character.
Yeah,
But Cameron's just,
Cameron, it's because you don't meet a whole lot of people like Ferris
yeah.
to where they're so outgoing like that.
Yeah.
But we all have a little bit of Cameron in us.
That's right. I love the part where where he's in bed and he's like singing. singing to
That's
himself.
his intro into the movie.
I love that. And then I also like when he gets in the car and he starts slamming on the steering wheel because he doesn't want to leave.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like
Yep.
mad that Ferris got him to do what he wants to do again.
Ferris is like, I bet you anything he's sitting in his car debating whether or
Yeah.
not he should cut hard cuts to him. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man. I think my two favorite scenes in the movie are the phone call scene
Yep.
when they call the principal.
Yep.
And, he realizes that Ferris Bueller's on the other line and it's really Cameron acting
Yes.
as Sloane's dad. And then obviously the scene where the car crashes at the end.
Yeah, of course.
That I love that scene because everything's built towards it at that point.
Yeah.
Like that is kind of the climax of the film.
Yeah.
You want to see Ferris get home without getting caught, but the movie's almost more about Cameron's character arc.
It is.
Because Ferris doesn't go through any change throughout the movie.
You're right.
Cameron's the one that's written as the protagonist. So just to see him finally stand up at the end
Yeah.
is just like so satisfying.
Yeah.
And it has my all-time celebrity crush in it. So
Oh. Cameron.
I've told you this. Cameron, my all-time celebrity. No, Sloane.
She's got to be like 80 years old now.
She's not that old. She's just so gorgeous in this film.
Well,
But
it's not my wife.
I know. That's why you don't have
Yeah.
to chime in.
You know what my favorite line is in this movie?
What? That is a funny line, Philip. Too bad we had to cut it out. Oh my. Okay, yeah. So I think that, and when we came up with the idea for this,
You know what my
list-
favorite line is in this
Oh,
movie?
jeez, what?
When
That is another funny line, Philip. Too bad we had to cut it out.
yeah.
Yeah. No. What was I saying?
I don't know.
When Philip and I came up with the idea for this list,
Yeah.
right away we both were like, number one's gonna be Ferris Bueller, right?
Right.
So we didn't even have to argue or debate or anything. We
Well,
just-
it helped that it was the only movie that I'd seen, basically.
well, no, you saw Napoleon, but this movie is just, I don't know, I just love it. Yeah,
great
if you've ever seen Napoleon Dynamite, if you've never seen Ferris Bueller or Napoleon Dynamite, go out and check them out.
Yeah, I would be surprised if somebody's not seen it. But
Ferris Bueller.
there's probably some sheltered person out there that's
Yeah.
never seen it.
But yeah.
It used to be that my family would watch this every time we got sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This
That's
and
funny.
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride's good.
Both of those movies have someone that is sick or pretending
Yes,
to be
the
sick.
kid
yeah.
and yeah.
So
And this movie has a Charlie Sheen performance.
oh yeah, that's great.
He's basically playing himself now,
Yeah. Yes.
which is really weird.
And this is 2 episodes in a row that we talk about Charlie Sheen.
And you know who Charlie Sheen's half brother is?
No.
Emilio Estevez.
No way.
Who's in The Breakfast Club.
Makes sense.
And yeah, Emilio Estevez is much, much better than Charlie Sheen
Well, you know what time it is, Daniel?
to check stuff.
It's time to check stuff.
Okay.
What's your prediction today?
I bet no.
You're right. Your suspicions were correct. I don't like that this is such a short segment of the show.
Wouldn't it be nice? Isn't it gonna be nice when we have more followers and we get more ratings, and then
Man.
it becomes like an actual segment?
An actual segment where we are like, oh, thanks for rating us. It's so great that you do that. We love it.
You know, here's the thing: if
This
this
is how
show,
we talk
if this
now.
show never picks up traction, we got to delete it all.
Delete it from history.
Because if someone stumbles across after we're dead, and
Man,
there's only
it's
like
so
there's
embarrassing.
five seasons and it never picks up traction, we can't leave that kind of
Well,
legacy behind.
That's kind of like how people that like are now famous artists for like paintings.
That's true.
They just never got popular, and then they die, and they're like, "Oh man,
Vincent
it's
Van
so
Gogh.
amazing."
Yeah, but
That's
see,
how we're gonna
well,
be the painters of
a
podcasting.
podcast. Okay. Then we can't delete it.
Can't
then.
delete it.
All
We
right.
gotta let people know how great this podcast was as soon as we're dead. That'll be on our funeral. The problem is that neither of us have social media that we really do like too much with,
Yeah, I know.
but we the only way that we can broadcast it to people is if we die and somebody at our funeral. We have to put it in our wills that in our funeral you must say, listen to all 8,000 episodes of Classic Countdown Conversations.
The funerals will go on for a month.
Yeah.
I like how we're kind of talking as if we're gonna die together.
Well, yeah.
We're gonna have like our funeral on the same day.
That's our last show. Is
Oh.
that we shoot each other at the exact same moment.
Oh my. Okay, let's do it. Episode 1600.
Well, and then it gets on the news too, because it's like
That's true.
least popular
two
podcast.
brother-in-laws, they shoot each other for their podcast episode.
Man,
Classic Countdown Conversations. Go check it out.
it's wonderful.
It says it in their will right here. It says this piece of paper with all the blood on it. It says, go check out our podcast. This was the only way we can market it.
It's the only way they knew how.
Like, what did they do for a living? Oh, this one guy worked with computers. They didn't know how to market. This other guy, he never went to school. He had no skills.
No. He worked with dirt.
He had a bunch of movie tattoos on his body. That's all he knew how to talk about.
Well, we love you guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.